Hello, my food enthusiasts and New York City lovers. My name is Lena, and welcome back to my channel, Timeless New York City, where I explore everything New York City. As New York City's Restaurant Week is in full swing, running from January 16th through February 4th, it's the perfect time to delve into the fascinating history of this beloved event. So today, we're embarking on a tasty journey through time, exploring the rich history of New York Restaurant Week. So grab your favorite snack with your friends and family, get comfortable, and join me as we uncover the flavors and faces that have shaped this iconic event, decade by decade. Our first decade, the 1980s, the birth of a culinary tradition. It all started in the summer of 1992, but the seeds were planted in the late 1980s. The brainchild of Tim Zagat of Zagat Survey and Joe Baum, a renowned restaurateur. New York Restaurant Week was initially a part of the city's summer fair. This era in New York City was a time of immense cultural and culinary vibrancy. The city was becoming a melting pot of global cuisines, and dining out was transforming into a form of entertainment and social activity. Tim Zagat, co-founder of the Zagat Survey, and Joe Baum, a legendary figure in New York's restaurant scene, saw an opportunity amidst this backdrop. Their idea was simple yet revolutionary: make fine dining accessible to more people. This vision led to the creation of New York Restaurant Week during the city's summer fair, an initiative aimed at showcasing New York City's gastronomic offerings. The timing was strategic, coinciding with the 1992 Democratic National Convention. The idea was to capitalize on the increased foot traffic in the city, drawing both visitors and locals into the culinary heart of New York. The event was an immediate hit. Participating restaurants, which included some of the city's most esteemed establishments, offered a special prefix lunch menu priced at $19.92, a clever nod to the year of its inception. This price point was a fraction of the usual cost of a meal at these high-end venues, making it an irresistible offer for many. The menu typically included a 3-course meal, giving diners a chance to sample the restaurant's best dishes. The success of this first Restaurant Week set a precedent. It demonstrated the potential of such an event to boost local businesses, enhance the city's culinary reputation, and provide an affordable fine dining experience. The positive response from both the restaurants and the public laid the groundwork for what would become a much-anticipated biannual event in New York City's culinary calendar. Through Restaurant Week, Tim Zagat and Joe Baum didn't just create a marketing event. They fostered a new tradition that celebrated the diversity and creativity of New York City's restaurant scene. This legacy continues to shape the way people experience dining in the city, turning every meal into a moment of discovery and delight. Our second decade, the 1990s, expansion and popularity. As the calendar turned to the 1990s, New York Restaurant Week was poised for an exciting evolution. Building on the success of its inaugural year, the event rapidly gained popularity among both restaurateurs and patrons. It transformed from a one-week novelty into a biannual tradition, eagerly anticipated by food lovers across the city and beyond. This decade was a golden era for New York's culinary scene, and the opening of groundbreaking restaurants. Star chefs icons like Daniel Boulud and Jean-Georges Vongerichten became household names during this time. Their participation in Restaurant Week brought a new level of prestige and excitement to the event. Daniel Boulud's restaurant, Daniel, known for its refined French cuisine, and Jean-Georges Vongerichten's eponymous restaurant, Jean-Georges, celebrated for its innovative dishes, offered gourmet experiences previously inaccessible to many. The fixed-price menu, typically offering a selection of appetizers, entrees, and desserts, was a game-changer. It democratized the fine dining experience, enabling a wider audience to savor meals that would otherwise be beyond their regular dining budget. The prix-fixe menu, often set at an attractively low price point, made it feasible for diners to visit multiple top-tier restaurants during the event, broadening their culinary horizons. The 1990s also saw a diversification in the types of cuisines offered during Restaurant Week. While it began with a focus on traditional European and American fine dining, the event gradually included a wider array of culinary traditions, reflecting New York City's diverse population and the growing global influences in its food scene. This shift not only catered to a broader audience, but also celebrated the multicultural fabric of the city. Moreover, the success of Restaurant Week during this decade had a ripple effect on the city's economy. It drew locals and tourists alike into restaurants during typically slower business periods, like midsummer and winter, providing a significant boost to the industry. This period also saw partnerships with local businesses and increased media attention, further cementing Restaurant Week as a staple of New York City's cultural and culinary landscape. The 1990s set the stage for New York Restaurant Week to become more than just a promotional event. It was now a cultural phenomenon that celebrated the city's culinary excellence and diversity, fostering a community of food lovers and supporting the local restaurant industry. Our third decade, the 2000s, a new millennium of flavors. The 2000s marked a new era with the internet's rise, making it easier for food lovers to discover and participate in Restaurant Week. During this period, we saw an influx of diverse cuisines as more ethnic and fusion restaurants joined. Among the standout figures were chefs Masaharu Morimoto and Marcus Samuelsson, whose contributions not only enriched the event, but also reflected the increasingly diverse fabric of New York's gastronomy. Masaharu Morimoto, renowned for his innovative approach to Japanese cuisine, brought a fusion of Eastern and Western culinary techniques to Restaurant Week. His restaurant, Morimoto, became a highlight for those seeking an avant-garde dining experience. Morimoto's dishes, characterized by their artistic presentation and a blend of traditional Japanese flavors with unexpected global elements, were a revelation to many. His participation in Restaurant Week allowed a broader audience to experience the artistry and flavor profiles that had made him a culinary star on the global stage. On the other hand, Marcus Samuelsson introduced the flavors of his Ethiopian and Swedish heritage through his restaurant Aquavit. Samuelsson's approach to cuisine, marked by a deep respect for traditional Scandinavian cooking techniques and the bold flavors of Ethiopian dishes, created a unique and memorable dining experience. His participation in Restaurant Week brought a spotlight to the concept of cross-cultural cooking and showcased the potential of fusion cuisine in a fine dining context. The presence of these chefs and their flagship restaurants during New York Restaurant Week in the 2000s exemplified the event's evolution from a local food festival to an international culinary showcase. It became a platform not just for celebrating established cuisines, but also for introducing and experimenting with new culinary ideas. The participation of chefs like Morimoto and Samuelsson underscored New York's status as a global food capital where innovation and tradition coexist harmoniously. Moreover, their involvement in Restaurant Week had a broader cultural impact. It helped in promoting the understanding and appreciation of diverse culinary traditions among New Yorkers and visitors alike. Their menus, often a blend of the familiar and the exotic, served as a gateway for many to explore new flavors and culinary concepts. The inclusion of chefs like Morimoto and Samuelsson and their respective restaurants, Morimoto and Aquavit in New York Restaurant Week during the 2000s, was a testament to the city's ever-expanding culinary landscape. It highlighted the event's role not just in celebrating food, but also in bridging cultures, fostering innovation, and pushing the boundaries of what fine dining could offer. Our fourth decade, the 2010s, a culinary renaissance. The 2010s marked a period of remarkable growth and innovation in New York's culinary scene, often referred to as a culinary renaissance. During this era, New York Restaurant Week played a pivotal role in highlighting the city's dynamic and diverse gastronomy. It became a springboard for emerging chefs and small-scale, independent restaurants, providing them with a platform to showcase their talents and gain critical exposure. One of the significant changes in the 2010s was the introduction of dinner menus to Restaurant Week. This expansion catered to the evolving dining habits of New Yorkers, who increasingly sought out quality dining experiences in the evenings. The dinner menus, like their lunchtime counterparts, offered multi-course meals at a fixed price, making fine dining more accessible during the evening hours and drawing in a different demographic of food enthusiasts. Dominique Ansel, a chef and pastry wizard, became one of the decade's most talked-about culinary figures. Ansel, best known for inventing the cronut, a croissant donut pastry that became a viral sensation, participated in Restaurant Week through his bakery. His inclusion brought a fresh perspective to the event, highlighting the importance of innovation in pastry and dessert offerings within the culinary world. Ansel's creations, often characterized by their inventiveness and whimsical nature, added a new layer of excitement to the Restaurant Week lineup. April Bloomfield, another influential figure, made her mark with the Spotted Pig, a gastropub that redefined pub fare with its high-quality, locally sourced ingredients and bold flavors. Bloomfield's participation in Restaurant Week was significant, as it showcased the evolving landscape of casual yet sophisticated dining. Her approach to cuisine, focusing on simplicity and the purity of flavors, resonated with a growing trend towards more relaxed but refined dining experiences. The 2010s also witnessed a greater emphasis on sustainability and farm-to-table concepts in Restaurant Week menus. Chefs and restaurants focused on sourcing locally grown, seasonal ingredients reflecting a broader shift in consumer preferences towards ethical and sustainable eating practices. This shift not only aligned with contemporary dining trends, but also supported local farmers and producers, further strengthening the bond between New York's culinary scene and its regional agricultural community. The 2010s in New York Restaurant Week were characterized by an embrace of diversity, innovation, and sustainability. The event expanded in scope and significance, becoming a true reflection of the city's culinary pulse. It was no longer just a promotional event. It had evolved into a celebration of New York's status as a global culinary hub, spotlighting the creativity and passion of its chefs and restaurants. Our current decade, the 2020s and beyond, adapting and innovating. The 2020s ushered in a period of significant adaptation and innovation for New York Restaurant Week, largely driven by the unprecedented challenges of the global pandemic. This era tested the resilience and creativity of the city's culinary industry, leading to transformative changes in how the event was conducted and experienced. One of the most notable adaptations was the incorporation of delivery and takeout options. With dining restrictions and safety concerns limiting in-person dining, Restaurant Week organizers and participating restaurants swiftly pivoted to offer off-premise dining options. This shift was crucial in keeping the spirit of the event alive, allowing patrons to enjoy culinary delights from their favorite restaurants in the safety and comfort of their homes. It also opened up opportunities for restaurants that previously may not have considered takeout or delivery as viable options, broadening the scope of participation. This period also saw a heightened focus on sustainable and locally sourced ingredients in Restaurant Week menus. The pandemic brought a renewed awareness of the importance of local supply chains and the value of supporting regional farmers and producers. Many chefs and restaurants responded by creating menus that highlighted local produce, meats, and seafoods, thereby not only offering fresher and more sustainable options, but also helping to bolster the local economy during challenging times. Additionally, the 2020s witnessed an increased use of digital platforms for Restaurant Week. Online reservations, virtual events, and social media marketing became more prominent, reflecting the shift towards digital engagement in the culinary world. These platforms allowed for greater reach and accessibility, enabling food enthusiasts to discover new restaurants and culinary experiences with ease. Furthermore, Restaurant Week's offerings began to diversify even further. The inclusion of more varied cuisine types, from vegan and vegetarian options to international fusion dishes, mirrored the evolving dietary preferences and cultural diversity of the city's populace. This diversification not only catered to a wider audience, but also showcased the city's rich tapestry of global influences. In short, the 2020s and beyond for New York Restaurant Week were defined by a spirit of resilience and innovation. The event adapted to the changing times with agility, ensuring its continued relevance and appeal. By embracing delivery and takeout options, focusing on sustainability, leveraging digital platforms, and diversifying its culinary offerings, Restaurant Week remained a beloved and integral part of New York City's cultural and culinary landscape, even in the face of challenges. As we've seen, New York Restaurant Week is not just a celebration of food. It's a reflection of the city's dynamic culture and history. From its modest beginnings in the 90s to its current status as a gastronomic extravaganza, it continues to evolve, bringing together food lovers and culinary masters. Have you had the chance to experience New York City's Restaurant Week? I'd love to hear about your favorite moments from the event. What dishes or restaurants stood out to you? Please share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. I'm excited to read about what made your Restaurant Week special. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, and subscribe for more of my content. If you want to get to know more about me, come visit me on my other channel, Lena Rates Movies and TV Shows. Thank you for joining me on this flavorful journey. Until next time, keep exploring and bon appetit.